All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday, May 21st. We got game number 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. In this video, I'm going to dive into this Knicks and Pacers game. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays. So I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, if you want to fade me, all of those plays will be free down in the pinned comment. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3 for more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. In terms of yesterday, we split. The over does not come through. In fact, the over was very, very far off. But that Anthony Edwards under 26.5 that we had to suffer through all the comments during the video yesterday, that ultimately comes through for us. So I guess, 1 in 1 day. We're going to lose a little bit off the top, but still a good game to watch. And man, oh man, is it tough to watch a Timberwolves game with obviously any superstar, but with Anthony Edwards under, and he touches the ball like twice per possession. That was sweaty. Obviously, him getting banged up helped us out a little bit as well. But a 1 in 1 night, I'm not going to cry about it, but nothing to celebrate, right? We lose a little bit off the top there. But let's go ahead and dive into this game. Guys, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. Keep dropping all your favorite plays in the comments. You're helping out a ton of people. And actually, I want to let you guys know to follow me over on Instagram at EvPicks, EVPICKZ. We're doing a lot of other fun content over there. We may be posting a player prop slip over there on Instagram today as well. So make sure to go check me out there. Check out all of the socials. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening over on the Instagram, putting a lot of focus into that. But what do you say we dive into this game here? We have New York taking on Indiana. New York coming off of a 6-game series win against the Boston Celtics. Hate to say that. Indiana coming off of a 5-game series win against Cleveland. So both of these teams, from the outside looking in, you'd be thinking, oh my God, how did they even get out of those series, right? Like, how did the Pacers beat the Cavs? How did the Knicks beat the Celtics? I would say the Pacers may be a little bit more explainable in terms of black and white. Like, this was not a fully healthy Cavs team, and not that the Celtics were either, but I do think, missing some of their pieces on the Cavs side of things certainly hurt them. And I had been saying all year long, all it's going to take is a couple injuries for this team to really go downhill because they don't have the depth. And the Pacers obviously were able to exploit that and kind of get hot right at the right time. So not taking anything away from that, I do just think that, you're silly if you're not going to acknowledge any of the injuries and say that the Pacers just beat the Cavs straight up. They mollywopped them, right? They controlled almost every game in that series, but they were injured, the Cavs. On the Knicks side of things, they did beat until the final moments there of whatever game that was, when Tatum ruptured his Achilles. Knicks are playing a pretty healthy Celtics team, right? You could be like, oh, well, Kristaps wasn't healthy. The Celtics have learned to play without Kristaps. You know what I mean? So even as a Celtics fan, I don't use that as an excuse. But I bring this up and the injuries up to say that I think the Knicks, even though the Cavs were the 1 seed, I think the Knicks had a little bit of harder competition to go through, and I'm giving them credit for that. And for that reason, in game 1, at least to set the benchmark, I kind of like the Knicks in this spot. They're at home. MSG has been rocking in the playoffs, no surprise there, and this spread seems a little low to me in a sense. During the season series, the Knicks and Pacers played 3 times. Knicks won 2 of those, and they covered in 2 of them. And the one that they did play in New York, they won 123-98, 25-point win. So for that reason, I'm going to lean towards the Knicks. But obviously, like I've been saying, as these playoffs are going, but also as they get deeper, it becomes even more and more true. Guys, to find that edge or to find that advantage on a side or a total, that starts to dwindle as the season goes on. You know what I mean? Like, these are scrutinized lines. They've been pumped in and out of the damn computer, So it's me saying Knicks -4.5 without the ability to be like, wow, you're an idiot if you like the Pacers. If someone's on the Pacers today, there's not much I can say to kind of take away. I would throw out that I think the Knicks are the better defense in terms of what the Pacers will like to do, right? Like if the Pacers want to run the isolation, the Knicks should be able to be very good at one, stopping that, and two, preventing it. The Pacers also like to shoot a ton of catch and shoot threes. The Knicks are very good at defending that. And then if you flip it over to the other side of things, the Knicks in isolation, Indiana's not all that great at defending that. But in pick and roll, yeah, Indiana can kind of hang with the Knicks in terms of preventing the pick and roll from the ball handler perspective. So there are angles to go at from both teams here. I would say that the Knicks are the better defense, have the ability to slow the game down, which I don't know if the Pacers fully do. And then third, and we saw this in the Celtics series, and man, oh man, drove me nuts as a Celtics. Like when this game gets closer and closer to the end, and it becomes, one possession, two possession game with 2 minutes, 1 minute to go, I think we know exactly which team is the team to trust. This Knicks team looks like they just turned it on to a new level in the crunch time. So yeah, with that, kind of as the cherry on top, I'm going to lean Knicks in this spot. I think they should dominate the rebounding war as well. So let's talk about some player props before we do get into the total. Guys, before we even do get to that, if you guys want to check out Sleeper, they have an awesome deal going on right now. They have a deposit match up to $100, but they also have a Jalen Brunson free square. I talked about throwing out a player props slip over on my Instagram today. It'll probably be over on Sleeper. They have a ton of discounts. New users get this Jalen square, right? So as a non-new user, I don't get it, but they have a ton of promos, whether it's a profit boost or a discounted square for current users as well. So go ahead and check out Sleeper. If it's available in your state and you have not checked it out yet, you're absolutely missing out on what I would consider one of, if not the best DFS player prop app. All you have to do, and you can do it so quickly, they even have the stats on there as well. All you have to do is pick more or less based on the set projection. You put 2 or more players into a slip. The more you get correct, the more you get paid out. And their payout process is really, really cool. And when I mean payout process, how they pay out their slips. Each and every play that you throw in there changes that payout dynamically. So they don't follow a fixed payout structure like a lot of other apps out there. It's really cool, guys. So go ahead and check it out. That link, again, will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Now, like I said, I got a couple player prop spots that I'm looking at and kind of, led the witness there. I don't mind the idea of either Josh Hart or Karl Anthony Towns taking a peek at their rebounds. I really do think that these are decent spots here. Josh Hart is going to get either the Pascal Siakam or the Aaron Nesmith sort of matchup in terms of on the glass. And Karl Anthony Towns is going to be looking at, Miles Turner. Now, what I'll say in terms of where I'd probably prefer Hart, given the sense that Miles Turner, when on offense, will be hanging around the three-point line, meaning Karl Anthony Towns could be 1 or 2 or 3 steps away from the hoop compared to him normally kind of being, at the rim, right? So I do think that Josh Hart, even now that I throw that in there, maybe even OG Anunoby from a rebound perspective. I think that rebounding is going to be a big advantage for this Knicks team overall in this series, as long as it goes. So looking at some of the guys, that do get their rebounds, which mainly Hart, mainly Towns, but then again, throwing in OG, I do think could be a good spot because one, if that's their advantage, someone's got to get the rebounds, right? And then even kind of making that case for Hart, I just mentioned there might be even some more additional rebound opportunities for him, just given the sense that, Karl Anthony Towns is going to be a little bit further away from the hoop. Most likely, right? Towns in those 3 games, he hit his rebound line of over 11.5 in 2 of the 3. The one that he didn't, he still had 17 rebound chances, which isn't all that terrible. And then we flip it over to Josh Hart in terms of his rebounds, right? His rebound line at 9.5. He hit 10 rebounds in all 3 games against his Pacers team. 20 rebound chances. He got 10 of 13 rebound chances. We don't expect that, but then 17 rebound chances. Don't really mind that whatsoever. So yeah, I think that the 3 through 5 here for the Knicks could be decent rebound looks. And then from a Pacers perspective, so Tyrese Halliburton had one really, really good game against this Knicks team. The other games are really bad. Now I was like, okay, can we somehow get to an under for Halliburton and maybe take a peek at his over and assists, like under in points? But for me, it just doesn't click enough. Like, he should be able to really score in the pick and roll. Like I said, the isolation is where the Knicks are going to be able to stop them. So if they force them into some pick and roll opportunities, Halliburton should be pretty good. So I started to kind of look at maybe Halliburton's over in assists. And then from a points perspective, Pascal Siakam in games 4 and 5 started to get it going against the Cavs, right? In terms of his points, he did have 24 points last time he played this Knicks squad. I think that he should be able to kind of score in that little in the paint area like he likes as well. So that could be something that we consider as well. So I know I just threw a lot of player props at you. Let's talk about the total here. Kind of a different order. Normally we go, spread, total, then player props. But let's get back to business. Let's talk about the total. And as always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment. It'll take you to the Guy Boston Sports site, absolutely free, let you know what I'm rolling with myself, because when we do these videos, everything that we kind of come across that has value, we talk about. When it comes to actually putting our hard-earned bread on the table and saying, hey, let's lock it in, that we think about it and research it even more throughout the day. So that's when we lock it in. We put it in as a final play so you guys know what we're rolling with. But anyways, total. When these two teams played earlier this year, 123 to the 98, 132 to 124, and 128 to 115. Now, looking at the last 3 games of both these teams in the playoffs, they were fairly high scoring, compared to what you'd expect in the playoffs. So a 230 finish, a 238 finish, and then I believe it was a 219 finish, which is fairly low. But then the Knicks, 123 to 113, okay, 127 to 102, 119 to 81. So these two teams definitely are looking to score. I do think the Knicks defense shows up when it counts, but I'm not exactly sure where the stops come from on the Indiana side of things. Both of these teams are really good in transition in terms of offense, not all that great in terms of defense, right? So I'm going to lean towards the over. I don't know if we get that down because, again, we took the over last night thinking it was going to be a good spot, and man, oh man, did these two teams, the Thunder and Timberwolves, look like every possession mattered. And that's what we normally see in the playoffs. I hadn't seen it too much from the team so far in the playoffs, right? Like usually it's every possession matters that much more. That's why unders can be good looks in the playoffs. So that's always in the back of my mind. But with the Pacers playing and how they've been playing, and I do think that the Knicks have some offensive advantage here, I'm going to lean towards the over to 24. But guys, it's going to wrap it up for today's show. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to follow me on my socials. Like I said, some cool content and more fun stuff, right? It's not just going to be picks and whatnot coming on the Instagram at evpicks, picks with a Z. Go ahead and follow me there. We'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.